Shams here talked about banning top 10 pick protections in trades. Why is that?
We saw Dallas absorb a big fine a couple years ago, but then they drafted Derek Lively, and it truly worked out for them. So if you're going to avoid that, maybe it's better to change the trade rules to avoid those kinds of incentives. But Dallas really, I think if they could do that over again and absorb the fine, they would want it to be double the amount, the way that Derek Lively looked and the way that he played.
Well said. I totally agree. Now, a look at Dallas's starting lineup. The star backcourt, Doncic and Irving are the guard set. And one forward, Thompson. At the other forward, Washington. And it's Gafford in its center. Rozier against Doncic. And Doncic throws it down.
And sometimes defenses sleep on Doncic's ability to elevate. He is capable of throwing it down.
Hero finds Rozier. It's hauled in by Doncic.
Well, I'm surprised that didn't fall for him. We know that's a shot he can hit, and there wasn't much resistance either.
And Tyler Hero gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Heat on D. And Thompson kicks to Irving. And you look at the way the league is moving now, Shams, are there less big trades than when you started or more?
Perhaps a little bit less, but listen, the league is trying to keep parity in this league and allow teams to be able to keep their homegrown stars. There's always going to be plenty of interest, and that level of interest, not only from players from competing teams, but fans' interest, it's never been higher.
And there's never any hesitancy, right? If a team feels they can get better, for whatever reason and however they do it, I don't think there's any hesitancy to pull on the trigger.
Particularly when you're on the cusp of potentially winning a championship or competing, whether it's competing for the playoffs, competing for a title. If you can make one move that takes you from point A to point B, teams and general managers want to do it.
Well said. Jovic passes to Butler. Adebayo with a screen for Butler. Again, the miss by the Heat.
Yeah, they're still looking for some cohesion offensively.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Well, Eric Spoelstra gave me a few minutes to catch up. We talked about the strategy for taking on a guy like Luka Doncic. He told me that the thing is Luka steals all the attention out there, which allows his teammates to find open looks, so we're not going to let him distract us on defense. So it sounds like they'll be focusing on defending against Luka and company, not just Luka. Kevin?
Thanks so much, David. Count that bucket. And Shams, we know you are so connected and on top of so many great stories and players and trends in the NBA. I have to ask, what is your... It's like I'm talking to my teenage daughter. What is your screen time like? You've got to be in front of that computer and clearly in front of your phone every minute, or at least most every minute of every hour of every day.
It's not as high as it needs to be, Kevin, I'll tell you that much. And thankfully, it's not always like that, but certainly at the biggest times of the year, free agency, draft, trade deadline, it is certainly up there, almost in the 19 to 20 range. Kevin, what's your screen time? I feel like you might have a high screen time. You want to be plugged in. I know it.
I take 2 months off in the summer, but for those 10 months, it's 7 days a week, a lot like you. But I know how much happens in the offseason. That's my interest in sitting next to you here courtside tonight, is that you're watching this game, but your mind is always thinking about this and that, and it never ends. Like, you must not get much sleep. You cannot get much sleep, right? My goodness.
We do get sleep, but your offseason is my season, Kevin, and I want to make sure as we get this season going, I'm able to inform you.
And you always do. You always do. Hero, the bounce pass. The shot by Adebayo, no good. Mavericks leading by 3. Here's Washington. And he really played well against Denver. Pass to Thompson from past the arc. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson. A shot for the past decade that you've been a major player in the NBA. It's been LeBron's league. It's been Curry's league. Who else is going to take over this league, you think, coming up around the corner?
Given the NBA Finals we just had, have to throw in Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Luka Doncic into the fold as far as faces of the NBA. But Nikola Jokic is so good. He will be one of the guys for a while. Giannis Antetokounmpo, you have to mention him as well. But ultimately, you have to also keep an eye on Victor Wembanyama, the way that Victor Wembanyama could take over the league. And already, so early, was so special. Victor Wembanyama is someone to keep an eye on.
Okay, they've just passed a note down to me, our gang here. What about Anthony Edwards of Minnesota? He's another one, right? Young American player who is really making an impact.
Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, you have to consider those two as well. And it's special, the crop of young players that we have coming up in this league. One of them is sure to emerge as this generation's, whether you want to call it Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, there will be a face out of this crop.
And we cannot wait. Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Najee Marshall comes in for Klay Thompson. And Dinwiddie's up in for Irving. Pass to Adebayo. Butler against Doncic. Butler passes to Adebayo. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 3 assists now in this one. And with the new broadcasting deals, NBA salaries figuring charms to skyrocket.
And we're not even just talking about the players, Kevin. It's the coaches. It's the front office executives. Everyone is seeing some massive, massive paydays. Every single year, we're seeing the biggest contract in league history, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger in years to come.
Are you surprised at the size of some of these coaching deals? I mean, the numbers are amazing to me.
Coaching, these front office deals, it's getting higher and higher. And once Monty Williams signed the deal he did in 2023, that only elevated the market for coaches and front office executives. Also are getting big paydays.
And a long combo guard, Dinwiddie can use that 6'5" height inside like a bigger player.
And it's Love missing.
I can't believe he missed that 3. Regardless, that's not a shot the defense should be giving it.
And the rejection by Love. And we've got a whistle. The refs are indicating it's a transition take foul. It's going to be a shot and the ball. Miami shooting their first free throw of the evening.
Yeah, pretty good numbers on the season when you look at their free throw attempts, right around 78%.
And the Heat making a change here. Highsmith is checked in, and Dallas also making a switch. Irving's checked in for Dinwiddie. 2 open that time, made it look too easy.
Yeah, he's so skilled at attacking at a moment's notice. Hero goes straight into his shot.
Chalk up 2 there. Irving's got 8.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Hero from long range. It's rebounded by Dallas, and this is their first time matched up with this year's Heat team.
And as good as a team as they were a year ago, they hated seeing these guys in their meetings. Just couldn't get it done against them.
And Marshall kicks to Doncic. Kleba, the pass to Doncic. And the dunk by Doncic.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And that does it for the first quarter. Mavericks lead by 5. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second. And thanks again.